Hello, my name is Paul and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another vlog. We're in a different setting because I'm trying to spice things up or whatever for the vlog. Spice things up, how? Anyway, today it's gonna be a really fun day. I'm gonna go watch Saltburn in like an hour. I think that's what the movie's called. I know nothing about this movie and I'm really excited because I'm going to the cinema alone. I made a video, an entire video about me going to the cinema alone and how much I love going to the cinema alone, and I know nothing about this movie. So this is a perfect combination. Knowing nothing about the movie, which I absolutely love, and going to the cinema alone, which I also love. So this is gonna be fun and I'm out of focus. I also realized the other day that Barry, I thought his name was Barry Keoghan the entire time because he's Irish. I kind of thought there would be like a little bit of an accent towards the end of his name, but no, his name is Barry Keoghan. I think that's how you say it. He said it in an interview and I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, before we go to the cinema in like 40-ish minutes, I'm going to tell you everything that I've been watching recently. So let me get on Letterboxd and let's talk about movies that I've been watching recently that I have been loving and hating, some of them, I guess. So we have quite a lot of movies to get through because I'm going to go through everything very briefly that I watched from October, and we're in mid-November now. So maybe this isn't like the smartest idea, but we'll be very brief. So The Cremator, weird as fuck, but I absolutely loved it. The Lure, weird Polish mermaid musical. Opal, strange. Original Salt, like the short movie, was so fucking cool to see from where it originated from. The Brute, I actually understood Brandon no, it's not, it's David Cronenberg, right? It's him? Is it David? Yeah, it is David. I really enjoyed it. That was really fun. The Doom Generation, I watched this when I was sick, and I was like, it was the perfect movie to watch whenever I was sick. Noah Will Save You. This movie got a lot of hate, and I don't agree with the hate. This movie was fucking solid, and no slander. Sleep Tight. Oh, I loved this movie. It was a Spanish creepy ass movie by the guy that directed Wreck or whatever, the POV horror movie that I absolutely love. So if you're looking for a great horror thriller movie, go watch that. One Cut of the Dead. For the first third of this movie, I was like, I do not understand what this movie, like, how is this rated so high? Like, this had such high ratings. And then I watched the other two-thirds of this movie and I realized that it's very fucking good. Then I watched Wasp and Irish Goodbye and Curfew. They're all short movies, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in this vlog. I feel like I just can't talk. I just cannot talk. The Vanishing, a very fucking creepy, very creepy movie and very realistic, put it that way. So if you're looking for like a kidnapping thriller type of movie, watch that. Then I watched the wonderful story of Henry Sugar, the Wes Anderson short. Loved it. So cute. Absolutely, like Wes Anderson making Roald Dahl stories into like short films. It's like perfect, beautiful, absolutely perfect. Then I watched Catopolis, which was just another short. The Full Monty, Coraline, What We Do in the Shadows, Creep, one of my favorite POV horror thriller movies of all time. So I also made a video about that. Then I watched What We Do in the Shadows. I think I already said that. Then I watched the rest of the Wes Anderson shorts. I watched Watcher. And I know I gave this like a 3.5, but I wasn't sure. I kind of wanted to give a higher rating, but I just wasn't sure. It's kind of about somebody being watched, like a stalker. I love a movie that makes you not trust the main character, that makes you be like, oh, maybe she's just overreacting, maybe she's just a bit paranoid, but like that movie convinces you very well. And then, you know, I'm not going to tell you, but the end of the movie, it's like, oh, so solid. In the Mouth of Madness, I don't even remember that movie. Rocky Horror Picture Horror Show, incredible, absolutely loved that. Slut, short movie. Black Christmas, which was like the perfect Halloween Christmas blend, I absolutely loved it. Robots. I'm watching a load of kids movies that I missed out on in my childhood, and Robots is one of them, and it was fine. Then I watched Resurrection. The ending of this fucking movie is so weird. It's great, I loved it, but it was so weird. Then I watched Sing, an incredible short movie, which I will again, as I said, I will talk about it in a few minutes. Spring, which was, the further the movie went on, the more disappointed I was by it. Victoria, beautiful, an entire movie shot in one take, and oh, I loved this movie. Like and it's over 2 hours long, and it's shot on perfect. Cha Cha Real Smooth, Dolomite Is My Name. Great movies. The Strange Way of Life sucked. It felt like a school performance in drama that they tried way too hard, and I feel like this part of the vlog is definitely getting a bit too long. The double F of Veronique, I need to rewatch it because it confused me, but I love the idea that you have somebody that looks exactly like you, that's living a very parallel life, and just all those sort of things. Serbian film made an entire video about it, fucking disturbing. Human voice, great. Cache, which means hidden in English, I believe, which was incredible. I've been watching this guy's movie, Michel Haneke, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I've been watching all of his movies, and the good stuff. Then we have Possibly in Michigan, Time Crimes, The Innocent, Noel Miller's comedy special, which I loved. Take Shelter. Hugo was, I did not know that Hugo was so good. I kind of had this stupid expectation that it's just like a kids movie, but no, it's incredible. It's so good. Then I watched Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, which was fine. Then I started off this month with Talk to Me, Turning Point, Murmuring, Jackass, Jeepers Creepers, which was not good. I did not like Jeepers Creepers. Then we have The Piano Teacher, which I really loved. Weird ass ending. Again, same as Hidden. It's just, I love it. I love how unconventional his movies are. Incredible. If you want to watch something that's just something that you've never seen before, like Funny Games, or The Piano Teacher, or Hidden, I need to watch Amour, but I know it's meant to be very depressing. You know, like when there's like a movie about a couple, and one of the couples, one of the half of the couple, it gets very sick, or like has a stroke, or has dementia. You just know you're going to be in a wild ride of sheer depression for like an hour and a half, or 2 hours, or 2.5 hours, and that's why I haven't watched Amour. But anyway, then I watched the original Whiplash, the short that then got made into the feature length. Gosford Park, When Evil Lurks, which was very disgusting. Autumn Sonata, which is my first Bergman movie. Beautiful, absolutely breathtaking and emotional. It made me think quite a lot after I watched it. Then I watched Elle, then The Vast of Night, Undine, Under the Shadow, which was an incredible, I think it's an Iranian horror movie. I don't know where the movie's from, but fucking incredible. It's on YouTube. You have no excuse. You have no excuse. Go watch it. Then I watched Tokyo Sonata, The Slumber Party Massacre, The Letter Room, watched Sing Again with my girlfriend. I watched Fincher's The Killer. I've heard a lot of shit about this movie, and it was great. I had a great time with it. The ending was the only thing I was a little bit unsure about, but everything else I loved. I loved this movie. The style, everything, the editing, the use of music, the Smiths, fuck, loved it. Then I watched Babe for the first time, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, Thunder Road, All About My Mother, Fauve, Billy Elliot, Alone, Stoker, and The Fox and the Hound, and that's everything that I've been watching recently. That was 10 minutes of this vlog. So one thing that I've been doing quite a lot of is watching every movie nominated for the Academy Award for Best Life Short Film. So basically all the shorts that have been nominated for Oscars, and I have been having an incredible time. These movies are fucking incredible. They're usually like 10 to 30 minutes long, and they're just great if you're looking to squeeze an extra little movie in after something, or if you just don't have time. Perfect. And these movies are incredible. Sing, I don't even know where Sing is. Oh, I can't see it. The movie that I told you about, this one, where is it? Where is it? This one? It's on YouTube. It's incredible. It's incredible. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to watch one of these before I go see Saltburn. I don't even know if that's what this movie is called. I'm going to go watch one of these. I don't know which one. I'm going to flick through these, and yeah, Cashback. Fuck it, let's watch Cashback. So I'm gonna go watch that. I'll give you a little bit of a review, a little bit of an opinion on it, and then we will go to the cinema. And I'm excited. And then after that, we're gonna get pizza and watch another movie and just watch movies. That you can spend a chill weekend with me at home / the cinema. Yeah, let's go. Let's go watch Cashback. I hope it's on YouTube. Okay, hello, I have just watched Cashback, and that was really fun. The entire premise of this short movie is that we follow Ben, who is an art student working in a supermarket during his studies, and throughout this 8-hour shift in the supermarket, in Sainsbury's, in the shop, he lets his imagination run wild because he's trying to pass time, and we see where his mind takes him, the thoughts that he has, but it's not only him. Throughout the 17 minutes of this movie, we learn quite a lot about the characters in this movie, and one of the characters obviously is Ben, and we learn that he thinks about naked women quite a lot. We also learn how the other workers in this shop are extremely horny and how they pass time. There's even one scene where there's a girl that's like, hey, if you look at the clock, the time is just going to go super slow. I like this short movie because it's very relatable. I've worked in bars, in cafes, in bookshops, and I know how tedious time gets, especially in a job that's extremely mundane, and especially when it's just very dead. And the last thing, you check your time and you're like, oh yeah, it's been like oh yeah, it's probably like been like 6 hours of the shift, and you check your time and it's only been an hour, and it's just fucking awful. And the things that you do to pass the time while you're at work is very funny, and the friendships that you make that are, like for me, it's always been with like students or with other workers that have worked there, and it's very relatable, it's very sweet. But this movie, just like for the last 5 minutes, becomes so horny because Ben is an artist, he's like an art student, and he appreciates the female form quite a lot. So there's like this slow motion scene where he freezes time and he just imagines everybody in the shop entirely naked and he's painting them. And this short movie, it doesn't hold back, it shows us absolutely everything. And this also got made into a feature movie, I think it's like 90 minutes long, so maybe I will watch that, but that was really fun. But that's how I usually do this. I sit on my phone, I go to the list and I pick most popular, and I just pick one and I go through them. And because like it's just such a great way for you to watch things, to like explore new areas of movies, new themes, things that you would never watch, movies from different countries. But also, if the shorts are really good, if you really connect with a short, you're just going to find a new director that you love. And there's a high probability that this director has also directed a full movie, and it's absolutely great and I absolutely love it. This happened to me with a short movie called Wasp, and I don't want to get her name wrong, but I'm pretty sure her name is Andrea Arnold. I think that's her name. She's Andrea Arnold, and she directed American Honey and Fish Tank and stuff like that. This person, and I absolutely loved it, and I found her because of watching the short movie Wasp, and you should definitely go check it out because it is fucking incredible. And yeah, I need to get my ass to the cinema to watch Saltburn, because if I don't, I'm gonna miss the movie. So let's go. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like this vlog feels very hectic already. So let's see if the energy continues, or will I get like really tired really quickly? I don't know, but let's go to the cinema. I'm not gonna vlog in public because I'm a bitch. Hello, I have arrived at the cinema. The movie starts in like 10 minutes and I really wanted to get a coffee, but I do not have time. But I think that's a blessing in disguise, because I feel like if I just had a coffee right now, I chugged it and I went to watch a movie, I would definitely 100% shit myself. So I feel like it's a good thing that I did not get a coffee, maybe after, but then having a coffee at like 6 p.m. is definitely not a good idea. But anyway, enough talking about coffees. I have no idea what this movie is going to be about, but I'm going to give a little guess. I'm going to guess what this movie is going to be about. I'm going to guess it's going to be horny. And this is the director, this is the person who directed Promising Young Woman. So I feel like there's going to be some death. It's going to be very horny. I feel like Barry Keoghan, not Barry Keoghan, because that's fucking wrong. I learned like last night. I feel like Barry Keoghan and the other guy the other attractive dude, they're both going to be naked. I have no idea what this movie is about, if you cannot tell, but I'm excited. I have not been to the cinema on my own in a really long time. I haven't been to the cinema in ages, just full stop, and it's great because I'm super excited. And after this I might get a coffee maybe, and I will also get a pizza, and I cannot wait. So it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go watch the movie and I will give you a little talking about that. That sounds like a parent. I will give you a review about the movie after. Bye.
Wished for, changing the way you make a living into a new way of life. I've always dreamt of making.
Okay, hello, I have just finished watching Saltburn and I fucking love that. That was so good. That was the first movie that I've ever watched in the cinema that is in the 4:3 aspect ratio, and I feel like it worked so fucking well in this movie. And again, before I start talking about the actual movie, I'm going to talk about the experience of going to the movies on my own. I absolutely loved it. I love the fact that if there was anything on the screen, if I was confused about something, if I found something, I didn't have to look at the person beside me. I didn't have to be like, hey, did you get that? Was that funny? Maybe I found that funny and you didn't find that funny, and I just absolutely loved it. Okay, the story. What is Saltburn about? I don't really know how to explain. So Barry Keoghan and Frank well, I don't even know how to even say his name. Wait, let me check up his name, because I cannot think of his name to save my life. Like the actor's name, Jacob Elordi. I'm probably saying it completely wrong. And Barry Keoghan are the main characters in this movie. So Barry Keoghan is kind of like a more poor, maybe like maybe it comes from like a working class family, and he goes to Oxford on a scholarship, and he sees, oh my god, Frank is his name, right? Oliver and Frank. Am I getting this wrong? let me check. What is wrong with me? So Jacob Elordi is Felix and Barry Keoghan is Oliver. So Oliver sees Felix and he's like, hey, he's kind of cute. I want him to ruin my life. And he gets fascinated by him. And he doesn't realize that Felix is a very rich person who comes from a fucking wealthy family. And basically, Felix is like, hey, Oliver, do you want to come to Saltburn, which is like the mansion, almost like a fucking kingdom, for the summer, to spend your summer holidays there? And Felix is like, no, I can't. I don't want to invade on your privacy. And eventually he gets convinced to go there, and he goes there. And that's all I can kind of tell you, because there's a lot of fuckery that goes on. There's a lot of it's a smart movie. It's kind of like character driven, and there's a lot of twists and turns that you don't expect about this within this movie, and I feel like they worked very, very well. There's so many things I want to say about this movie, but it will all spoil this film. The ending of this movie is iconic, and the one thing I really want to talk about with this movie is how fucking beautiful. Oh my god, the last time I watched a movie that I was in genuine awe about, like, because of its beauty, was Phantom Thread, and I felt exactly like that with this movie. Gorgeous. Every single shot was like a painting. Beautiful, like such a fucking beautiful movie. I was just in shock at how beautiful it was, how many beautiful shots there were. The acting, the casting, Rosamund Pike, I think that's her name, just all the casting in this movie, fucking incredible. Just, I really, really, really love this movie. If you're like me, if you want to just watch a good movie that you know nothing about, go watch this movie. This is the movie for you to watch. If you just want a good movie, trust me, just go watch it. Let it take over you, because it's a little bit unconventional at times, and it's a bit weird at times, but I loved it. It really, really worked for me, and maybe that's because I watched it in the cinema on my own. I just really loved it. There were some tiny things that I felt like the chemistry sometimes between the characters didn't work, or there were some montage party scenes that I feel like it didn't work at times, but overall I loved the movie. I can't really tell you what it's about, but just trust me, it's about this guy who goes to Oxford, who gets fascinated by a really hot guy, and he's like, hey, I have a crush on him. And then the hot guy invites him over to his fucking mansion for the summer, and there's a whole lot of fuckery that happens in the summer. That's all I can tell you. Just go watch it. Go watch it. I am now going to go get a pizza. It is, if you cannot hear the rain or see the rain, the weather is awful. I'm going to get a pizza, go home, get changed, watch some YouTube, eat my pizza, and then find another movie to watch. Yeah, and I don't know how I have this much energy because I'm so tired. So see you in a little bit. Oh, I hope you can see me. I had headphones on because I called my friend, and my hair looks insane. I am home and I had my pizza, and I just realized I didn't like show you it because I was on the phone. So I had a Hawaiian pizza, so do not slander pineapples on pizza. Now I need to find a movie, and I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes to find a movie because I do not want to spend all night looking for a movie. If you do not know me, I spend so long trying to pick a movie, and I'm gonna time it. I'm gonna time myself. I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm gonna watch, wait, I just repeated myself. I'm gonna watch a movie, I'm gonna tell you about it, I'm gonna get it to bed, and I'm gonna read, and then tomorrow we are gonna, well, I'll talk about tomorrow later. Let's go find a movie. Okay, stop the clock. That took me less than 2 minutes. My phone is covered in fingerprints. I picked the movie Miss Stevens. I can't even show you because my screen is covered in fingerprints. It's basically about a teacher who is in a crossroads in her personal life, and she's an English teacher, and she is a chaperone for 3 of her students on a weekend trip to a drama competition. It seems very sweet. It seems more chill. I kind of, like, in the evenings I have like these expectations that I'm gonna watch something like scary or something like very deep, and then whenever it gets to evening time, I'm like, you know what, I just want to watch something chill. And it is only 86 minutes long, and I believe it's on YouTube, so I'm gonna watch Miss Stevens, and let's see what Miss Stevens is all about. That sounds a bit weird. Okay, hello, I have literally just finished watching Miss Stevens. If you can see it, it's still there, it's still going, and I really, really enjoyed that. I feel like I've not watched enough movies about depressed teachers. The thing I really loved about this movie was that the teachers' difficulties, Miss Stevens' mental difficulties, weren't just in your face. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm very sad, and at the end of the movie it's all going to be fixed. It was very, very subtle. And it kind of came out very slowly throughout the movie. There's still a lot of things that weren't entirely addressed, and it kind of left the audience being like, oh, just leave it to your imagination. What other difficulties would a teacher have? And I did not realize that Timothée Chalamet was in this movie, and he was so good. His performance in this was really good. When the movie started, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm not going to really like this. It just feels like a very cheap kind of like movie with no depth. But honestly, this movie was very sincere, very sweet. It reminded me of Theatre Camp or Chow Chow Real Smooth, and I really, really loved it. And I found it very interesting as a teacher, if you don't have anybody, is it fine to rely on your students for mental support? Because obviously, young people have good advice, but as a teacher, you're kind of like built up to like not take them seriously to an extent. And I found it very interesting to think about if a teacher can put her, not problems, but express themselves to her students, because obviously in this movie, she takes the 3 students because they're going to like this drama camp thing at the weekend, so she gets to be just with them. And is it okay to open up and be just a normal person, or do you have to remain in the character of a teacher? And I found that very, very interesting, and I found it very sweet, because whenever Miss Stevens does open up, she finds it very difficult to accept that she has opened up to a student, even though the student has some very good advice for her and is there and has great intentions in his mind to help her. She still finds it very difficult to, but I don't know, I just found that very interesting. The music in this movie was great. It was very sweet. I really, really loved it. That was nice. That was exactly what I was looking for. And I love that it wasn't even an hour and a half long. It was like 85 minutes. It was great. I don't know if I'm going to watch anything else tonight. I might watch a short. If I don't, I'll keep you updated. But I'm not ending the vlog today. I'm ending the vlog probably tomorrow. So see you whatever I do now with whatever I do next. Hello, it is the next morning. I am still quite tired, if you cannot see by my face and cannot tell by my voice. But today's gonna be a fun day. I hopefully will watch a good few movies. But this morning so far, I woke up, I read, and I've done some yoga because I'm trying to like exercise every single day of the week. And on the weekends, I do yoga, and on the weekdays, I do strength training. So I've done some yoga and I read. This is what I've been reading, but I'll get to that in a second because I want to tell you what I've been reading recently, because last vlog, I gave you a little wrap up on every book that I've been reading. So I read Love by Roddy Doyle, which is basically a conversation between 2 men in kind of like their 60s, in their 60s, in various pubs talking about their life. It's basically a massive play. It's basically a massive discussion. The thing that I really loved about this book is the fact that it's just so raw and so honest, and it's quite repetitive at times, but from that it's so realistic. This book only works as 2 Irish men, because if it was anybody else, it just wouldn't work, because Irish men are the most awkward, like difficult people to figure out. They will not share their emotions. They will never be coherent, never be linear in the things that they're trying to get to. So it's great. It's really, really easily read. Like, if you can't tell, I folded a lot of pages because I really love them. And it's very, very easily read. It's beautiful. At times a little bit repetitive, but that's the point. And I really enjoyed it. It made me think about the idea of being a man, and just friendships and regret and a lot of other things. So this is a great, lovely little book if you want to read something. Then I read something a little bit more difficult, more intense, Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, which was fucking incredible. The writing, the detail, the depth, oh my god, I feel like every time, I'm gonna reread this sometime, and I bet you the next time I read this, I'm gonna find out more. I fucking loved this book. There's so many layers to like every sentence that Margaret Atwood writes. It is beautiful. The construction of the world, the construction of the characters, oh my god, it's beautiful, it's poetic. If you want to read something scary but realistic to an extent, then this is really, really, really good. Then I read Convenience Store Woman, which is very easily read. Like, I think I read this in like 2 days. I could have read it in one, but I just kind of wanted to space it out. It's about a woman that just wants to work in a convenience store, but her environment is like, no, you need to get a husband, you need to get a real job. And she's like, well, I just want to work in a shop. And she's, yeah, you just kind of follow her and her kind of like brain as you're trying to figure out what she's going to do. Should she succumb to people's pressure, or should she just stay doing what she loves doing? It's very easily read, it's beautiful, it's weird, it's funny, It's a great book, very, very good. Then I read The Flowers of Buffoonery by Osamu Dazai. If you do not know him, he is an extremely depressing author. His work is depressing. I love it so much. And this, I don't know how I felt about this. I feel like I need to reread it. It was very self-aware. It was beautiful at times. There's things about this book that have stuck with me that I've thought about quite a lot. It was only released this year and he's been dead for quite a long time. It's semi like realistic to his life because I believe he tried to kill himself quite a few times. And it's about Yozo Oba, who is in the story No Longer Human, which is his most popular book, and he failed a suicide attempt with a girl, and it's just his time in the hospital. It's very short, like literally, like it's so short. It's still beautiful. I love him as an author. He's one of my favorite authors, and yeah, it's great. Then I read Clara and the Sun, and I really love this because it's about an artificial friend, so like an AI friend, and I really loved how this story is taken from the AF artificial friend's perspective, because obviously the AF is not a human, so the way the AF looks, the way Clara, I should just refer to her as Clara, the way Clara looks at emotions, at the world, at people, is not like a human does. So it makes us step back and not look at things in such a complicated way. It makes us step back and just look at something in a very direct way, I suppose, in a very, I don't even know how, it's not direct, the word is, makes us look at the world in a very linear way, I suppose, not metaphorical in any way, just very direct, and I really, really love that. It's a beautiful book, it's poetic, it's very interesting, it's also very easily read, and that was just a joy to read, and yeah, it's great. And now I am reading, I think I read some other small stuff, but I can't really think of it. Now I'm reading Handmaid's sequel, The Testament, and I am like this far in. I don't really know, it's not really focusing, I'm that far in. And I love this. I think Margaret Atwood is an incredible author. This is definitely different from The Handmaid's Tale, but that does not matter. It is still an incredible book. I'm really excited to see where the story goes, and I don't want to spoil anything to tell you if it continues on from The Handmaid's Tale or whatever. But it's great. I love this, like I love the color of this, like it's fucking a neon like greeny cover. It's beautiful. I thought this would take me a really long time to read because it's a big, like it's a brick, but it's been very quickly read. I'm like halfway into it in a few days, so yeah, it's great. That's what I've been reading. But now I'm gonna go to a cafe, one of my favorite cafes around here. But here's a loser thing I'm gonna tell you about myself. For Christmas, I got my partner this map, okay? I don't know if you can see that. It's a massive map of all the good coffee places around here, and we've been trying them all. And the one place that I have fucking loved, like I mean like incredible, like adored, is not even on this map. And I was like, oh, I bet you like the coffee place I'm gonna really love is like super far away. It's gonna be like really far away and I'm never gonna be able to get to it, maybe like once a year. But no, my favorite coffee shop is like 10 minutes up the road, and I'm so excited, and I'm gonna go there, and hopefully after that I can come home and watch a movie if I have time. So I cannot wait. I need a coffee because these eyes are getting so sleepy. So let's go get some coffee and wake up. Okay, hello, I have just watched another movie, and I think this will be the last movie that I watch in this video, and it is called The Black Coat's Daughter. I believe it is also called February, but I'm not sure if the name changed or something along those lines. And this movie was so good, but let me tell you that, let me read you the synopsis first. I'm not going to read it all because the synopsis on Letterboxd actually like ruins a good part of it. So if you're going to watch, if you trust my opinions, you're not going to read it and just go watch it. In the dead of winter, Kat and Rose, two very different girls, find themselves spending winter at their prestigious prep school. What they don't know is that Kat is being stalked by an evil entity, and that's all I'm going to say, because the less you know about this movie, the better. Do not watch the trailer, do not read anything about it, just go watch it. If you want a very slow atmospheric horror movie that does not have jump scares, but that is genuinely terrifying, that is beautiful, that has some really good acting, then you should go watch this. I really loved this movie. I loved how slow it was. Initially I was like, okay, I have no idea what's going on. I don't really like the pace. It just didn't click for me. But then the further the movie went on, the more I discovered things. And if you are patient with this movie, it rewards you. And it was fucking great. It was terrifying. There's like one or two, like, I know they're not jump scares, but there were 2 or 3 times in this movie that I was, whoa. It shocked me, and it is, I don't know, it's just a solid horror movie. I was about to tell you something, but it's a spoiler. But if you want, just as I said like 3 times already, if you want a really good solid horror movie with some excellent performances, a beautiful horror movie, a very slow one. Emma Roberts is in this. She is so good in it, and I really love how it wasn't very conventional, it wasn't very linear. The timelines eventually match up in this story, but you start the story, you feel a little bit confused, you don't really know where it's going, you have these epic expectations because this is a type of movie that you've probably seen before done in a different way, but it doesn't really conform to the usual style, I suppose, and it's done very well. Great movie. I really enjoyed it, and I think that's everything I'm gonna watch for this vlog. This is really fun. I watched some great movies, I had a great time, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.